Cause I'm facing, they call me crazy cause I'm facing all my giants. They try to scare me into thinking I can fight it. They tell me I should never even think of trying. But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance.
All right. Let me just double check with the team here. Do you have anything streaming that you need? Is there anything that I can do to help on my side? I guess I should have asked, how do I share this on my personal Facebook page? But maybe I should have asked those technical questions before we went live.
If you go to the Belt Method Facebook page, you might be able to, you could share it to your personal profile, maybe even the group too. The premium.
Let me see if I can do it here for just a second. Looks amazing. Let me make a small little adjustment over here. It's really good to see everyone here. Give me just a moment while I try to fix a little technical error. This is Big J. Just to be clear, that's inside the free group where I could grab the link to post.
My
personal page, is that right?
No, the Belt Method page, not the group.
Oh, the page itself. Got it. So let's take a look. We got here streaming over here. I want to share it over on my personal page, and then I will unequivocally. It says view shop. I don't think the Belt Method's a shop. We don't sell any belts here. We just sell knowledge.
Hey, Tom says.
Yeah, it looks
hey,
like
Kurt.
we're live right here, Rich.
Yep. Hey, Tom says, hey, Kurt, congrats to you and your family.
Oh, thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate that very much, sir. Let's see here. Share now to public. I believe that's going to share right on my profile. Let me double check here real quick. Share to profile. This is great. Hey, it's good to see everyone here. So I'm still trying to figure out my studio and the new place that I have here as well too. You're kind of going to see a whole white background, and well, truth be told, I'm trying to make my life a little bit more simpler these days. At the end of the day, many of you know that I just had a little beautiful bouncing baby girl. She is amazing. I've been spending a lot of time with her. And well, one of the things is that we've realized, Nick already has 2 kids. We've kind of realized we want to be able to simplify things, help you out more, basically help you do more, learn more, and profit more. So I got a couple of announcements that I wanted to share here. And I got a good friend, Big Jason, here that's been helping us along as well too. We want to bring you some really good content. We have some really good questions all around Facebook marketing, and I have a couple of big announcements that I want to make as well too. Now, just to double check, I'm going to check one more time with the team. Big J, can you hear me okay? Does everything look okay? I know I have a face for radio, but like, does everything coming through clear, at least on your side?
Yeah, the audio is. Are you on Hardwire?
Because the technician that came over to install my interwebs, they weren't able to do Hardwire, so I am on Softwire.
Is your wife watching Netflix? Or your partner?
Oh, unequivocally, yes, because she has the COVID in the other room. So let me see if I can adjust this.
Yeah, the audio is kind of, but I can clearly understand you. Tom says you look and sound good here, so I think we're good.
Okay, well, good. We will make all the other upgrades and stuff like that that we need to make sure this streams properly next time. Again, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. So, got a couple of announcements that I want to make. We're going to introduce something I'm going to call here in just a little bit called Fight Club. And this is something that is absolutely revolutionary to the point where we're making just things a lot easier to learn and, of course, to profit. So, let me just go ahead and jump right on in. Well, a couple of months ago, Nick and I sat down and we started talking about what do we want to do for 2023? What do we want to do for our current members now? What do we want to do for people going forward? But we started to take a look at a bunch of our trainings. And a lot of our trainings over the last 10 years really have been put together because, well, it's been requested from you. Let me give you a perfect example. So overall, from the Belt Method Premium, the Belt Method Premium is going to teach you ethical propaganda and how to properly market online. It doesn't even really matter what channel, it's how to get in front of people ethically to build ethical propaganda and to make sales. Well, once we created the Belt Method, we started to have a live event for $5,000. People would come on down to Austin. They start to learn in Austin. Well, a lot of people started to raise their hand and said, I understand that the belt method's more for advanced media buyers. What happens if I'm just kind of getting started, but I want to learn this ethical propaganda? So we created a second program, and that second program was called the Belt Method Fast Start. And that is, well, exactly what it sounds like. That is to help people get up and running on the Belt Method right away. We created a 350-page manual, step-by-step checklist. We created a step-by-step and how-to videos. So now we had two programs, right? We had the Belt Method Premium, and then we have, well, I shouldn't say had, we still currently have the Belt Method Fast Track. Well, then some people asked us, well, Kurt, I'm having problems with my funnel. What do I do specifically when X, Y, and Z is broke? Or what do I do where my opt-in rate is low, but I need to get a better cost for my leads? What are some things I can change my funnel? So what we did is we started to create these calculators across, essentially, we like to call them profit centers or profit calculators. And essentially what we do, this is the advertiser fix finder. Now we're able to type in step by step exactly what our numbers is. That's not even proper English. Let me use proper English. So essentially what we created is the advertiser fix finder, where you could type in your numbers from your ads and your funnels to find out exactly what is the problem going on with your advertising. A lot of times we'd have people tell us, hey, look, our opt-in cost is way too high. And we'd say specifically, what is high about the cost? And they're like, well, lead cost overall. What is that? Because you have a bad opt-in rate? Is that because the cost of advertising is rising? So we created the advertiser fix finder literally so you can type in your numbers, and the advertiser fix finder would tell you exactly what you need to focus on. Is it your ads? Is it your creative? Is it your audience? Is it your funnel? Well, the advertiser fix finder, we actually put in another membership area. And then people had asked us for YouTube training, which we put in another membership area. And people also asked us on top of that for some timeless email training, which we also put in another membership area. The problem was is it kind of came confusing. Reason is we have a lot of resources for you, but they're really spread out in a lot of different places. So as Nick and I sat down just a couple of months ago, we actually had the owners of Sam Card approach us. We've known the owners for many, many years. And the owners said, hey, Kurt, we have a special program. We will help you get into our membership site. We would love to have you house all of your trainings in one spot. And well, because with having a new little bundle of joy, we wanted to make things a lot simpler and easier for everyone and all of you. So we've taken all of our trainings and we've put all of our trainings directly inside one membership area. What we've also heard a lot of your feedback from is a lot of people love to join our live support calls. Oh, perfect. This is just right here. Now you can log in just one place and know exactly where to go. If you want to learn the method of the ethical propaganda, click right on the link. You're going to drop right on in. You're even going to have a little kind of bar and metric that you know if you completed it, if you did not complete it. So it's going to have sections step by step. Again, this is going to have all the training videos for you. It's going to have all the documentation. It's all listed in the back of this one membership area. So if you want to learn ethical propaganda or the fast track, or you want to learn YouTube, we recorded some really great trainings with Tom Breeze. And I got to tell you, this is one of the best YouTube trainings I've seen out there. Well, a lot of people didn't know where to get access to this YouTube training. We wanted to make this really easy to have a YouTube quick start area for you. So if you're ready to get started on YouTube, what's really important about YouTube is understanding the following. Creatives. You gotta have really good creatives. Now, they've taken away some targeting over on YouTube. Don't be scared by that. As long as you have really good creatives and you know how to create these ads, it can make a huge world of difference. You're gonna find that all in the YouTube quick start as well too. Also, inside the membership area, you're also gonna see an email training as well. Well, sorry, you see Advertiser Fix Finder where you type in all your numbers, and the Email Profit Center. And the fast track for the Email Profit Center is really just to wrap your head around, well, how to send better emails. What kind of content ideas for you as well. The problem is what we hear people do all the time is people will create an opt-in, they'll get a bunch of leads that come in, and they just stop building the relationship. So what we've done is we've dove down deep with some email experts, really talking about specifically what type of emails you should send, when you should send them, what are some different types of formats that you can do, and we have some additional strategy for you as well. So if you are marketing online, well, we want to introduce you to what we call right now is Fight Club, and that is Facebook, YouTube. We're going to be covering a lot more TikTok, and then E for everything else. We're also going to be talking about direct mail. Did you know that direct mail can be a fifth a fifth of the price of Facebook ads. Did you know that TV ads like Hulu ads can be a tenth of the price of Facebook ads? I can't tell you how many times I've been on the phone with people over the last week who have told me that rising costs of Facebook ads is almost going to put them out of business, or it just doesn't make ads profitable anymore. Why do we have to just run with just Facebook ads? There's so many other channels out there. That's what we're going to explore in Fight Club. So with Fight Club, what we've done is we've condensed all the trainings down into one training center to make it really easy. Number two, we're going to be introducing four live calls a week. So we can talk about specific platforms and get your questions answered. We're going to time these 4 live calls where anybody from around the world can join. We're going to make it really easy. And the process of joining, well, you're going to see, we're going to have a link in here in just a little bit. You can just jump right on in. We're going to make you a special offer between now and next Tuesday at midnight. So you're going to see us release some more content like this, where I'm going to answer some Facebook questions. Happy to answer some questions here live as well, too. I got a bunch of really great questions that I want to answer here about Facebook. In a couple of days, we're going to be talking about some of the questions we've collected about YouTube. And then what we've really got a lot of, Mr. Jason, is we got a lot of questions around TikTok. A lot of people are wondering, can TikTok work for me? A ton. And absolutely, TikTok can work for me. A lot of people tell me, well, Kurt, TikTok's for 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds. Actually, the fastest growing demographic on TikTok is 35 plus. A lot of people now, which is crazy to me. I know I am 44 years old. A lot of people that are using TikTok as a search engine. And I got to tell you, now there's a lot of controversy around TikTok. We're not going to get into that right now, right? Should it be here in U.S. soil? I'll tell you the one thing about TikTok that no one else can beat: the algorithm right now. Because with Facebook, you're going to message to friends and friends of friends, and then you're going to start to do some advertising and Instagram, some pretty pictures. TikTok is all designed around finding a new person that has never heard of you before, so they can see the right content at the right time that's of interest to them. Really, TikTok is known to introduce you to content that you didn't know existed, but you find highly relevant. So if you know how to produce the right piece of content, kind of like we teach in the Belt Method, if you know how to produce the right piece of content, TikTok could be your oyster as well too. But before we get into TikTok, let's go ahead and jump into some of these questions that I got over here at Facebook. I'm going to look up, and I guess the camera, look over to the left. Let's see what I have. Very first question that I have in here about Facebook. Again, I'm happy to take any questions live as well too. Question is what type of tacos convert better? Oh, that was a test question. Anytime tacos are appropriate time of the day, just FYI, tacos is actually going to be part of our Belt Method strategy. We're working on that right now, because what I want people to do is every time that you see a taco, I want you to think about me and the Belt Method. Very positive way. We'll talk about that later. All right. So go ahead.
They can ask additional questions live now, right?
Absolutely. So where do I live questions, or do you help me answer those live questions? What's the best way to handle that?
Yeah, I'll let you know if someone asks a question live.
Perfect. Yeah, interrupt me at any time. Let me know. Perfect. First question I have here, this is a really good one. Is it possible to stick with engagement ads for a while as a new business until I make enough sales to afford more expensive traffic? Well, I want you to keep in mind with Facebook, Facebook has lots of different ways that you can target people, right? You can do video views, you can do engagement on a post, you can do landing page visits, you can do add to cart ads, you can do lead ads, sales ads. What we teach you in the Belt Method overall is, of course, to establish a rapport. But each one of these objectives is going to reach a different person at a different time in their own buying cycle. So if you want to run video views at first and you want to run engagement ads to really kind of warm up your audience, for people to get to know you and your brand, absolutely. You might not make a lot of sales with those engagement ads, because you're reaching people right now who, well, want to be engaged with, right? They want to see some content that means something to them, but we didn't say necessarily buyers. Now, you're absolutely right. The traffic is more expensive if you are looking for just people to buy. Truth be told, the traffic can be 5 times or more expensive for you to run a lead ad or a sales conversion ad versus running an engagement ad. My suggestion is you're just getting started out. I love running video view ads. I love running engagement ads, or sending people back to a blog with landing page visits. Now, I'm going to do that for a short amount of time as I'm working on my funnel. What I want to do is I want to start building rapport. As I'm building rapport with these video views and landing page visits, just keep in mind, I might not be making sales right away, but I'm establishing and building a rapport.
So as you start to kind of figure out what content works best for you with those engagement ads, I would say I would start to encourage you to slowly start turning up the ad spend and testing some of the lead acquisition ads or add to cart ads or purchase ads after you've been running those engagement ads for a while. So yes, starting out, run those engagement ads, see what engagement ads get the best response that you then could use for leads or sales ads when you start to pay those more expensive rates. Because essentially, Facebook's going to charge you more for people who are ready to become leads or sales. So just don't stick with running engagement ads. Make it one of your tools in your arsenal. Next question I have: how to best use the belt method today on both YouTube and Facebook? Which one's best? Again,
Hey,
it
Nick.
all depends. Go ahead.
Hey, Kurt. Nick has a
Go ahead.
question real quick. He wants to know, like,
Yes.
is the offer going to be announced via email? Should I just go ahead and give him the CTA right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to go ahead and get the link right now, we can drop that link in here. You can go to the belt.live/FTE
FY.
Club FE FYTE. You know, I'm kind of reading this like I'm dyslexic. So it's the belt.live/FYTECLUBFB. You'll see the link that's just right here on the screen. Hey, Big J, just question. I was on a webinar the other day and I saw when people brought up their call to action like this, they actually put on a QR code. So someone would just hold their phone, click on the QR code, and then type in all their information just right on the mobile format. Have you seen that?
That's a good
Have you seen
idea.
that done very much?
I've
Right?
seen it
I
once.
literally, it's funny because I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, sitting here typing the link is interesting. You can always click on the link. But I did, which was really interesting, was literally just up, clicked a button, and then I think that they were able to use Apple Pay, which I thought was phenomenal. You know, click two buttons and you're ready to
Yep.
buy. I'm like, I want to learn how to do
That's
that too.
awesome.
So, yes, if you want to find out more, you can find out all the information directly on that page right there. Again,
Tom
this is
has
going to be a
another
discount.
question.
Absolutely. Please interrupt me and let me know what questions I can answer.
Tom says, will premium members have access to Fight Club at the current
Ab-
price?
Absolutely. You'll actually have a discount on top of what's already listed. One of the things that we say year after year, we want to support you because you've been supporting us. We will make you an offer that is less of a price than the public's going to see. So in the next day, I was supposed to record this fancy video before this call right here, didn't get a chance to. Within the next 24 hours, Nick's going to be sending an email. If you've already been a member of our premium group or you've been a member of our fast track, you are going to get an offer that is actually even lower than the price that you're going to see for the general public here, just because you have been supporting us over the years, and I know you've been supporting us for over the years as well too. And we'll absolutely make you an offer you can't refuse directly in your email box that is less than what you see on the screen here.
Thanks,
Great
Kurt. You
question.
guys are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So which one's best to use? Facebook or YouTube? Really, in my opinion, could be both. The big question really comes for 2023, in my opinion. What is going to be the best acquisition strategy for you? Can you find better qualified people over on YouTube and then you retarget on YouTube or Facebook? Do you find better quality traffic over on Facebook? You retarget over to YouTube. Most of the times, people are going to say that they're going to find higher quality traffic on YouTube because people are going down the rabbit hole and they want to learn and explore. The thing is YouTube's going to be more expensive traffic. So Facebook getting a little more costly as well too. Facebook, YouTube's getting more costly because it's premium traffic. In my opinion, I would take a look at really looking at both. There's a lot of people who stick on Facebook all day long. There's a lot of people who do research on YouTube all day long. I want to make sure that I grab both buckets. But the big question for 2022 is which channels do you want to use for acquisition to reach that cold perfect market for you? And then once you've reached them, what are the other resources that you can continuously just retarget people on? So I know in 2023, we're going to be spending a lot less money top of funnel on Facebook or cold market. We're going to be spending a lot more money on other platforms to bring people in. But unequivocally, we're going to use the belt method as retargeting all over Facebook and the other ad networks for you. So unfortunately, the answer to the question is it depends on what's best for you. I would really consider both. Having trouble verifying domain, I would need to take a look at that. Sometimes people have problems verifying a domain if it's for affiliate traffic or if you own the domain itself. Nick and I have been running a lot of different tests actually on some different affiliate networks too with some affiliate marketing, which we can just put our own pixel in, which ends up working great. I would have to know the details a little bit more. Again, this is something we would love to cover inside a Fight Club. Meaning, one of the things I love to do is to look over your shoulder inside of your ad account and be able to pinpoint some of these things. And sometimes you just don't know what you just don't know until you have someone with some experience like myself and Nick, where we can say, oh, the domain verification process, all you have to do is hit these two other buttons, because Facebook makes it as clear as mud in a lot of their instructions. So always happy to help live. I'd probably have to kind of see a screen share just to understand a little bit more what you're running into with the verifying domains. Let's see here. Another question. Ooh, retargeting. Appreciate that, Tony. Thank you very, very much. Retargeting. Yes, you can still retarget on Facebook. So many people are saying retargeting is broken because of iOS. Yeah, retargeting is a little interesting for all people who went to your website, because with iOS, we can't track all people that go over to the website. But what I can tell you is this: you can still retarget people on Facebook for video views, engagement, people who click on the ad itself, send you a message. There's so many ways that you can still retarget in Facebook. I love using Facebook for retargeting. So just because I can't retarget every single person who clicks the website, I can unequivocally retarget every single person who clicked on the ad in the first place, because that means that they engaged with our overall content, which is part of setting up the Hot 28. So retargeting still works like gangbusters over on Facebook. Okay, this is a little bit longer question. I'm gonna have to read over here for just a second. So it's a little bit crazy one. Have you ever heard how many pages are getting shut down on Facebook for changing out the new experience cover image? I have not done this. I've known over 20 since November 1st. 6 happened to me. I work with a coffee franchise. Well, I don't know if I've heard this one. They require franchises to change the cover image at the beginning of a new campaign. That makes a lot of sense. We've been doing that for over 115 pages since 2014. Enter new experience, and bam, apparently you cannot log in more than one NEP, new experience page. Within an hour, you risk losing them or going to Facebook jail. I do not know about that one. This is something I would absolutely have to ask our rep. That's a really great question. We have not had any of this problem, but neither my rep have been able to do much. Yeah, I was get too stored. This is one of these questions. It's a really good question, and unfortunately, I don't have a great answer right now. I don't have any clients where we have to change the cover image on a regular basis with these new experiences. I did not know that that could lock you out. I have not heard about this at all. I'm going to write that one down. I'm going to follow up with my brother on that just to see if his rep has any feedback. As you know, just like you mentioned here in the question as well too, your Facebook rep doesn't have any answers, and like it's amazing. There are billions of people on Facebook, and there are millions of advertisers, and you would assume that someone would happen to this page, like you mentioned here. I mean, you're one person that's found all these pages to be down, right? Facebook should see this instantly. Some alarm should be going off. Some engineer should be fixing this. I wish I had better answers for you on this one. I'm not quite sure. It's a great question.
Hey, Kurt,
I question you. Go ahead.
I don't know if you noticed this based on Tony's icon, but he actually is commenting on YouTube on your Facebook Live. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I did not. Okay, yeah, I did see that as the icon. So I saw Tony's comments come. I didn't know that was over on. Oh, Big J, we're gonna have to definitely work more on streaming. I love this stuff. I know it's possible. It's just sometimes you just don't have enough time in the day. This is really great. This is really great. Okay, so excuse me. So what's working now for daily ad spend? $1 a day. I say it all the time. Spend $1 a day to prove out your content. $1 a day is going to work really good with video views. Going to work really good with engagement. Landing page visits can work okay with $1 a day. I actually spend about $5 a day for landing page visits. I can start out lead campaigns at $5 a day. But I always want to make mention, if you want to test out this $1 a day strategy, it is extremely powerful middle of funnel. I like to get a lot of user generated content, testimonials that I run for $1 a day. So I may have 10 different testimonials. Each testimonial runs for $1 a day. Facebook finds the right person at the right time to see that content. By the way, you can use $1 a day strategy over on Twitter. You can use it over on Instagram. Now, TikTok's going to require $20 a day, but I can tell you this. There's an individual by the name of Dennis Yu, Dennis Y.U. He from Blitz Metrics. He's an amazing individual. He taught the dollar a day strategy. It's effective on lots of other ad networks. He used the dollar a day strategy to get on stages around the world, targeting the people who like organize the speakers and stuff like that for just $1 a day. But Dennis taught me the dollar a day strategy. It's a great way to get started, get your content out there, figure out what works, and then slowly start to adjust the budgets from there. Now, as you start to qualify your offer, so let's just say that you're running for leads or you're running for sales like in e-commerce, starting at a budget at 150, 150 or $200 a day sometimes can be extremely effective versus it starting at $5 a day. See, Facebook needs the algorithm to get as much information as possible for it to make decisions for your business. So at $1 a day, Facebook's going to find the right person at the right time for content. $5 a day, Facebook's going to try to find that right conversion. But if your average lead cost is like $10, that $5 a day might just not get you enough traffic inside of the algorithm to start working to send you the right people at the right time. But test $100 or $200 a day can put enough juice behind that algorithm to really start to see if your opt-ins are working. So it really all comes down to a risk tolerance. Start low, start with those engaged $1 a day. But as you start to see some early baselines of your offers that you're seeing some good leads come in or some good sales are coming in, you may want to consider starting a budget at $100 or even $200 a day for 2 to 3 days. I know it can be expensive, but remember, this is when you have your middle of funnel $1 a day targeting to clean up anybody who doesn't buy. You may be surprised starting out with larger budgets, how much faster return you start to see, more leads, more sales, and at the end of the day, more profit for you. Great budget question. Let's see what else I have. This is really good. How to get better quality leads, have better quality content. It's the best thing to tell, right? Now, Big Jason's here listening on in. He's had the ability to work with some of the world's top copywriters that have lived, period, like of all time. And I got to tell you, what some of these people know, these top copywriters, it's just a small little echelon of people that can really dial in copy where they just turn on cold traffic and people just start throwing credit cards. But for 99% of people out there, they don't have these copywriting skills. So how do you get better leads? You got to have to pre-qualify people through your content. So this could be long form posts. This could be videos. This could be some engagement ads. But what most people require to do is, yes, they got to have better copy, but since they're not one of the world's elite copywriters, they have to start building some really good rapport. So in my opinion, if you are looking to get better quality leads, it's pre-qualifying people in your copy. It's making longer copy instead of saying, hey, click here if you want to make money. It is click here if you would like to learn how to make money online as an actual business. Remember, results don't happen overnight. You have to work at this. Sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes it can be frustrating. We basically pre-qualify people through our content. What Facebook is looking for you to do is to work more on your content to make sure that your ads are relevant to the people who see them. When they're relevant, Facebook's going to reward you more and your cost is going to go down a little bit. But when people say, hey, Kurt, I'm getting a lot of leads, but they're not quality leads. Well, what we're going to do is Facebook's changing their targeting all the time. We have to look at the pre-qualifications that we have set up in the video or in the ad itself, and then, of course, in the funnel. So if you are looking for better leads, I suggest really pre-qualifying people in the content itself and or really pre-qualifying people, of course, over on your landing page. This whole clickbait of click here, become a lead right away so I can get leads for $1 doesn't really happen anymore, I guess, kind of depending on niche. You really have to pre-qualify people. If you're going to spend the money, having 100 leads or having 1,000 leads, or having 100,000 leads that don't buy doesn't really matter. I mean, right now we're working with Big Jason right now, actually specifically talking about this, targeting the right person at the right time inside of their email. So we don't have to have 10,000 leads of poor quality to have a couple people buy. We could literally have 50 or 100 really great leads of people who just want to buy everything. So it's not about the number of leads. It really comes down to lead quality. Lead quality really comes down to the content and the pre-qualification of you getting people into your funnel from your ads and your funnel. Great question. My ads a dark post, traffic objective, right? It's a link over to WhatsApp. I only get 20% of WhatsApp messages coming in from the total link clicks. Why is that? Well, Tony, I'm going to go back to your question. That's a brilliant question there. Actually, let me jump back to that, and then I will go to the dark post. Okay. So what I'm saying is what I love to do middle of funnel is I love to test out a bunch of content for $1 a day. And I know that you can test $1 a day over on YouTube for YouTube video views as well too. I'm going to start to find out what some of my most engaging content is. I like to start at 3x my CP goal. If my lead cost, for example, if my goal lead cost is $10, I'm going to start testing 3x of that a day. So I'm going to test $30 a day. If my lead cost goal is $10. I'm going to test $30 a day, and I'm going to test that for 3 days. Okay, 3, 6, 9. I'm going to test out $90 over 3 days. Now, when I test out that $90 over 3 days, I want to see, am I getting just a couple of leads? Am I getting 0 leads whatsoever, which means I have to start over? Or am I getting, am I starting to really kind of, see my leads come in at goal? So if I test out, let's just say that $30 a day, right? Let's just say I'm testing out at $30 a day. After 3 or 4 days, if I am seeing that my baselines are being met, like it's not exactly where I want it, but it's being met, I absolutely want to try testing for like 2 days, $100 a day. Because if I'm starting to see those early results from that $30 a day, many times if I can throw a bunch more traffic right at the thing that's already starting to convert a little bit, I'm going to start to see better results faster. So I'm not necessarily suggesting that you go from $1 a day to $100 a day, but like inside of Fight Club, we talk about, all right, if your goal CPA, if your goal cost per lead goal is like $20, we want you to test 3 times that amount in a day for 3 days. And if you are finding early results that is working, I highly encourage you to then test out a campaign for $100 a day to see if you can get that algorithm working, especially over on Google side of stuff like on YouTube. Get that algorithm working even faster to see if you can start seeing some leads sales faster as well too. So Tony, that is a brilliant question. I'm glad that you asked that. We don't want to make the jump right away, but we do want to make the jump sooner rather than later. I can't tell you how many clients and prospects that we have worked with that say, hey, look, my goal lead cost is $50 a day or $50 for a lead, but I only want you to spend $50 a day. So that means Facebook's only going to find, maybe if we're lucky, 1 lead a day. Well, Facebook needs to see 25, 30, 40 conversions starting to happen before that algorithm really picks up. So if I'm spending too little, the algorithm's not going to work like it should. So you don't need to spend $100 right away, but you want to get it sooner rather than later to make sure that ad spend is really monetizing for you. Great question. Okay.
Hey, Kurt.
To get back, we were talking. Go ahead.
Just a side note. Tom asked a question
Yep.
about what software we're using, and I responded as the Belt Method, and it posted to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
I had no idea.
I really got to do more stuff on YouTube. I've been missing the YouTube boat in a long time. And yeah, streaming live on YouTube, building up the channel. Very excited to do that. Okay, so dark post, traffic objective. We're talking about WhatsApp. Yes, I want to fight. That's a good sale. That's actually a good line that I'm going to use in ads. Want to fight?
Hire him. Hire him.
He's right. That's a good idea. Okay, so my ads post traffic objective. So this is a Facebook specific question. Link's going to go to WhatsApp. Only 20% of messages coming in from the total link clicks. I believe the question here is when people click on the link, why does it go to 100% of messages? I would assume it's just waiting for the page to load for WhatsApp to open up. If you're getting 20% of people who click on the link to go into WhatsApp, that actually seems like a normal number. I mean, sometimes logic would say every time someone clicks, they should go into WhatsApp. But as people are scrolling through, looking at ads, clicking on the button, waiting for WhatsApp to open and to populate and to become inside of WhatsApp, 20% doesn't sound like a bad number overall. But there could be something else that I'm just missing. But from what I'm seeing here, that doesn't look bad. I mean, a lot of times what we see too, especially after the iOS update, we would see a lot of people, their opt-in rates absolutely just dropped and plummeted. And it wasn't because of the ad cost from Facebook. It was because the internet had gotten a little bit more mature and Facebook and Google are looking for faster load times in pages. So if your website, for example, takes 3 or 4 seconds to load, you may see that literally 20% or 80% of people who click on your ad never even go to your website because they wait too long for the page to load. Many times what people are saying right now, what we've seen from experience, you want your websites to load under a second. If you want someone to click on your ad, see your page, and have a high probability that they will buy or opt in, that website needs to load in under 1 second. So you may be targeting people in a demographic where their phone could be slowly loading and opening up WhatsApp and causing people to bail and not seeing more people go through to WhatsApp. So one thing you may want to try, just as a test, try testing people who are just on iOS only. Like a higher, you can target people with like a higher, what's the word that I'm looking for? You can target people with higher operating systems for iOS. So like iOS 10, for example. Target some of the newer platforms because you know the phones open up and they load real quick. I think you'd be really surprised how many people still have iPhone 6s and iPhone 5s out there that don't even use WhatsApp. And when you're targeting everyone and you get into this old technology, sometimes you see numbers like this. So sometimes what I tell people to do is, hey, try testing only iOS, just only traffic to iOS. And if possible, test some of the latest operating systems to see if that percentage goes up. And also test excluding iOS, where you're just going to go ahead and target the other one I'm looking for, Chrome, Google, Chrome, yeah, Android. That's the word I'm looking for, right? Test Android only to see if you're getting a better connection and open rate as well too. So I would test those kind of different variations just to see, is it a load time issue or maybe it's an older phone issue, but that would help kind of compartmentalize what the main issue would be if I split test just the newer iOS systems or just straight up Android instead of combining everything to happen to see what happens from there, which is good. So if CPA is $20, then do $60 for 3 days, making that a total of 180 bucks. Yes. And then things pick up, bump to $100 a day. Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. So here's the way that I look at it. Great question. Great question. So let's say your CPA is 20 bucks. Okay. We're going to test $60 a day. We're going to test that for 3 days, right? Great question. So in 3 days, you're going to spend $180. If you make if you have 0 leads, or you're getting, let's just say we're getting leads for 20 bucks. If you have 0 leads after 180 bucks, turn it off. That means that you have to rethink your ads and your hook because nothing worked. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people and they're like, hey, Kurt, I'm not quite sure if this is working or not. I've spent $700 and I only got like 7 leads. When do I turn off ads? This is why we're giving you the structure of do 3x what your CPA goal is for 3 days. If you get nothing, you know this is something that has to be reworked. Excuse me for a second. Now, if you get a couple of leads, excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Now, if you get a couple of leads in those 3 days, you know you're on to something, but you may need to tweak your ads a little bit. But you only got to spend $180 to figure that you're on something and some adjustments need to be made. Now, if your goal CPA is $20 and we're testing $60 a day, for example, right? 3x, and we're making 3 or 4 leads a day. So by the end of the 3 days, we essentially have like 3, 6, 9, let's say we have 10 leads, then we're on to something. If we have 10 leads after that 3-day test, unequivocally, I'm going to start testing $100 a day. I want to see if the algorithm is going to work even faster for me to start getting me better results. Excuse me for just a second. Got all excited with this, so this is good. So looking at the ads, you mean re-examine your copy, creative, see if we're calling the customer ideal customer. Yes. So what I'm going to be looking for is if I'm not making any leads or any sales whatsoever from that first 3-day test, I mean, a lot of times I like to use the Advertiser Fix Finder tool, but what I take a look at is my overall click-through rate. Am I getting enough people to actually click on the ad itself? Excuse me, just one more second. I get another drink. I get all excited talking about this stuff. This is good. See, Big Jason, you got to have a Texas-sized mug bigger than my head. Very important here.
Exactly.
People ask me, what am I drinking? I say Mountain Dew. How much sugar that would be in a regular day? That would be at least 5 pounds of sugar, straight water. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a 3-day test. Now in the 3-day test, if I am seeing some really good results, right, I can start to scale. If I'm not really quite sure what to do next, many times what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in right into the calculator, the Advertiser Fix Finder, and it's going to start to show me, okay, is my CPM cost too high? Do I need to work on my CPM cost? That could literally just be changing your audience. Or Click-through rate. Do I need to get a higher click-through rate? Ideally, I want to have around 1.5% or higher, depending per agency, depending per industry. Well, maybe I'll have to take a look at my overall creatives before I do anything else. Or what I see a lot of times is I see a really good CPM cost. I see people clicking through on the ad. I see people from there clicking on the ad, not hitting the landing page. So then that's going to tell me that I need to speed up my website so I make sure that anybody who clicks on the ad actually gets over from onto the landing page. Or excuse me, there we go. Or what's going to happen is we're going to see we have a good CPM, a good click-through rate on our ads. People are making it to our landing page, but people just aren't converting. Right at that last point, they're just not converting. So we know we have to work for the copy. We have to work specifically for the copy for the offer. So what I like to do is I like to do these tests where, again, I take the CPA, 3x the CPA cost for 3 days, because it helps me figure out all those numbers that I just mentioned here before I start to spend $100 a day or more just to get Facebook more data. Hope that answers that question. Great question. Really, really, really great question. Okay, I'm on YouTube because Apple RV, the Facebook app, and have you on the big screen. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I want to figure out how to stream more on your big screen TV. I know I have a face for radio, but I'm not quite sure how big your TV is. If you can see all the digital, I just know when you get the fancy TVs with high HD, it's like, oh, I didn't know the person was that old. Wow. So this is really great. I understand that there are variables, but what should we have a goal in terms of CPL? Great question. Again, it all depends. Some people in the health niche who are selling supplements for $45 need to have leads under $2. I work with an individual that helps business owners grow their business, find out what they can afford on the finance side of things. They'll spend $20,000 before they get a handful of leads, and those are great leads for them. So it kind of all really kind of depends on your industry. I think in a kind of a general sense, depending on what your ad costs are, a 25 or 30% opt-in rate is really good. You kind of reverse engineer that with your cost per leads. I think if you're doing a webinar, for example, I don't know why, but this is just the way it works. If you're doing a webinar, typically your lead cost is going to be on the low side $10, on the normal side $15, $20, on the high side $25 or more. If you're doing an opt-in, for a giveaway, the numbers can really be all over the board. What I like to take a look at them. Again, if I'm selling, excuse me, I have something. Excuse me. If I'm selling farm machinery, my lead cost is obviously going to be a lot higher because it's just someone spent $100,000 on a piece of farm equipment versus if someone's going to spend, $49 on a digital product, lead cost is going to be lower. So it kind of all depends per industry and, what you're looking for overall. Okay. Attribution has been stranger than normal. Let's take a look. Oh, look at this. How about let me see that question again. High CPM. How about high CPM, but good CTR and good outbound CTR? Okay. Love this one. I'm going to take a drink for this one as well, too. Hang on one second. Now, so yes, that niche could be expensive. One of the things that I like to do is I like to try to find the biggest audience I possibly can to help drive down that CPM cost. So what I personally like to do, like with the belt method, I like to run $1 a day. And I like to take a video that helps pre-qualify people. So for example, we have like a 20-minute webinar that people will watch for like 50 cents, which is great. So what I like to do is I like to take, for example, top of funnel, $1 a day. I will go ahead and advertise that webinar just for people just watch the webinar. So we align our belief systems. I'm going to run that for $1 a day top of funnel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a campaign for $1 a day top of funnel with this one video. And I'm going to start targeting a bunch of different interests, right? I'm going to target, let's say, Frank Kern's interest for $1 a day, Ryan Dice's for $1 a day, Ogilvy's $1 a day, social media managers are $1 a day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all these interests, up to 40 or 50 different interests for $1 a day. So I'd be spending like $50 a day on this one video. And I'm going to see which of these interests are actually watching the video. And I'm going to find out of these 40 or 50 interests, I'm going to find there's about 15 to 20 interests that primarily are watching the video. So out of these 15 to 20 different interests, these people are primarily watching the video. What I like to do is I take all of those interests that are pre-qualifying, watching this video or watching my other videos, and I combine all the interests together to create the biggest audience that I possibly can. And this is where I'm going to test out my CPA goals, right? This is where I'm going to test out for 3 days at $60 a day if my CPA is 20 bucks, right? I'm going to combine all these audiences together. So if you are running audiences right now and you're targeting individual interests, I would suggest combining as many interests as you can as possible. The other thing that's been working like gangbusters for us over the last 5 to 6 months, lookalike audiences. But the thing is a lot of people are only going to run a 1% or a 2% lookalike audience. So what I like to do is I like to go back to when we had just like a really great week or a really great month. It takes about 250 people. I mean, really 100, but 250 people I like to before I create a lookalike audience. So what I'll do is, let's just say I'm getting leads. Let's just say my lead cost is $25, $30. My lead cost is going up. And it's not, my click-through rate's good. Opt-in rate is good, but it's my CPM cost that's going up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a lookalike audience from my best week or best month where I got the best leads, right? The leads that bought. I'm going to create a lookalike audience. I'm going to create a lookalike audience of 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%. Okay? So I have all these different lookalike audiences. Now, what a lot of people like to do is we're going to test 1%, and then we're going to test 2%. What we've been doing is combining all those audiences together. So if I am seeing high CPM cost, but my click-through rate's great, landing page rate's great, opt-in page rate's great, except my CPM cost is high, well, I'm either going to try open wide targeting, which can be a little dangerous, where you just let it run wide open. And unfortunately, Facebook's taking away more and more interest. They want you to target broader so Facebook can figure out to find the right person for you. So we take lookalike audiences, combine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, put them all in one ad set, one campaign. It opens up to a huge audience. That gives us sometimes a much lower CPM, and everything else just works. So if you're seeing higher cost CPM, consider lookalike audiences, combine those 1 through 6%. See, some people do 1 through 10%, and or you may want to consider open wide targeting, which is scary. But if your ad creative can pre-qualify people, Facebook will eventually find the right person at the right time for your offer. So that is how I lower my CPM cost. And one other thing, this is why we want to talk about this inside a Fight Club. Sometimes you can't lower your CPM cost. It's just the best that you can do. So then we need to take a look at the CPM cost. What would happen if you did lower it? Maybe just by going to another ad network. Maybe it is going over to TikTok for some acquisition because everything else is working. Maybe that is on YouTube. Maybe that's with direct mail. Maybe that's with Hulu TV advertising, where you realize that all of your ads are working great, but you have to get the CPM lower. Many times that's exploring another ad channel as well too. So really, really, really great question. Great question. Okay, I have a question on attribution, which this can make it interesting. Let's see here. So attribution has been stranger than normal. It seems happy to help, sir. It seems like accounts I manage have results that show up in clumps, not like the normal 72-hour modeling. It seems like nothing for 7 hours, then 3 sales, nothing for an hour, then 6 sales. These are the same day before the 72-hour windows. Any idea what's happening? I would kind of have to understand just a little bit more by looking into the account. I know some people watch their ads hour by hour, and they're like, hey, we get sales between 8 and 9, and then nothing for the rest of the day, and then another hour over here. I really look at ads. I kind of take a look at ads, what's going on right now today. I look at ads kind of sort of over 24 hours, kind of what happened. I'm really looking at overall trends, 5 days, 7 days, 14 days, 21 days. I'm seeing how all the statistical modeling falls on in. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be a little bit more careful on scaling. Some people I know like to turn up the scale and crank it really high. And if they don't make any sales by noon, they turn it back down. And they crank it back up the next day. And if they don't make more than, they don't make at least 3 sales by 1 p.m., then they're going to turn it back down. And they go back and forth, back and forth. I'm a belief system that I want to slowly start to turn it up, kind of like boiling water, and keep it going. And then what I start to see is, you're totally right, is you're not going to see real-time stats. So that's why I'm always looking at Google Analytics to help me out just a little bit more. But I'm really staring at my CRM as well too, right? That's going to tell me how many leads I actually have, how many sales I actually have, and then the attribution thing's just a little bit more interesting with Facebook. So I wish I had a better answer for you there, but I'm usually looking at ads. I kind of take a look over 24 hours, 48 hours kind of sort of matters to me, but I'm really looking at 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, 21 days to make sure it all falls into place. So if I tell clients this all the time, I only update client KPI documents on Tuesday and Thursday. So I only update clients' KPI documents on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The reason being is because if I update a client KPI documents every day, they're going to see a fluctuation like this. And I start to manage clients' emotions that act like this versus actually manage the overall numbers. So in my opinion, if possible, see if you can stretch out your window a little bit more as you're looking at those averages. That's a really great question. I mean, we see the same thing sometimes with Facebook that all of a sudden 3 or 4 sales just pop in and then just nothing. It's like Facebook found the right people for a short amount of time, but just wants to spend the money for a rest. Good question. So we like to open, if possible, depending on your scale, we like to open up that time window just a little bit more for that consistency. That's why I like doing that CPA goal of we're going to look over 3 days. And if that's working, then I want to start taking a look over 7 days, what the average is, over 14 days. And very rarely am I ever worried about a 1 day or 2 days. If it goes down in the dumps or just takes off, kind of really seems to even out over that 5, 7, 14 period. All right. Let's see here. Best way to set up the conversion pixel and the events and the possible associated with the cost of the server stuff. One of the things that we like to do is pixelmysite. Be either pixelmysite.org or pixelmysite.com. Again, Christian runs the site. It's basically a WordPress plugin. It's super easy, and that's what we've used with Nick. So we always just recommend Pixelmysite. I think it's pixelmysite.com to help set up the conversion, the CAPI stuff, the conversion API stuff, where it's not really expensive, a really easy alternative. It's kind of like a couple of button clicks and that's it. So pixelmysite.com is what we're always taking a look at. What industries are a better fit for Facebook ad traffic? As long as it's allowed to run on Facebook, any industry can work out really well. And a lot of people say, does business to business work? Well, yeah, because you're still marketing to people, and those people are on Facebook. Just remember, Facebook's just a distraction marketing. And it's just one of these things that people get interested in when they're scrolling by. So you just have to have your copy and creative pre-qualifying people as they're scrolling them through. That's the biggest thing. So I'd love to be able to answer that question a little bit more, but it kind of depends on your overall offer and funnel. But yeah, lots of industries. I mean, there's very few that don't work on Facebook. Like some industrial tech stuff is a little bit interesting over on Facebook, but I'd kind of have to answer that question, just kind of seeing what else you have going on too. How do you get free Facebook traffic? Post organically, twice a day, 4 times a day. Spend a lot of time inside of Reels. That's how you get some really great traffic inside of Facebook and Instagram Reels. But if you want to get free traffic on Facebook, Facebook basically wants you to pay for traffic. It's all about content. So if you post once a week and then share your blog post once a week, you're probably not going to get any traffic from Facebook, very little. But if you're posting 4 or 5 times a day, you got to do it consistently, 30, 60, 90 days, you start to see the traffic start to come in, but it doesn't happen overnight. It's something you have to train on Facebook's algorithm, and you have to keep posting. So if you are looking for free traffic, it is absolutely upping up the content game. Really spend some time taking a look at the Reel format, right? Those are where the format's basically just your phone, just like this, right? And ideally, what you're going to be doing is making these 1-minute videos, and those 1-minute videos are being these 1-minute videos are being seen by a lot more people these days inside of Reels than just posting to a page. But if you're looking for free traffic, unequivocally start looking at Reels, stories, and these 1-minute videos, which is really good. All right. Do you upload offline to help the algorithm? Yes. If you are able to upload offline conversions, yes. So depending on volume, if you're running a local store where foot traffic for a flower shop and you're spending $20 a day, uploading the ads once a week, the offline conversions is totally fine. I like uploading offline conversions once a week. If you're somebody who's doing a lot more volume, let's just say you're seeing 4 or 5 sales a day that could be attributed, then I would upload it on a daily basis. But typically we would just be for like local businesses, we'd just be uploading offline conversions once a week. So really great question. Great question. All right. What strategy, as in for a funnel, can you make for tours and travel? Actually, my brother does a ton of tourism stuff. He does a lot of stuff over on Facebook as well for tourism. Again, I have to look over your shoulder and understand a little bit more about your campaign. But my brother is even set up fan pages for bridges in Nebraska for the Nebraska Transportation Department or whatever. And sometimes they use those fun pages. I know my brother does. Wild Bill is famous in Nebraska for like being a gunslinger, and there's a lot of tourism stuff they do all around the face of Wild Bill, and it's a younger guy with his big old beard, and they just make it really fun for tourism. So it's a lot of spots of what Wild Bill is doing this weekend, what's coming up this weekend, where he's going to be at. So there's a lot of really unique things that you can use inside of Facebook for tourism. I'd love to know more about your individual business, but tourism and travel can be really powerful on Facebook. My brother's used this for many, many, many years. He really specializes in the tourism industry. It's really good to see. I love the question here. Just getting back into the game and waiting to grow my list and sell my new course using Facebook ads. What would you say is the best strategy right now to get started with? 1-minute videos running inside of Reels, turning that into $1 a day content for a hot 28 middle of funnel. You want to start rebuilding everything, start building a rapport and a brand with people. Get these 1-minute videos up on Reels, up on stories. Start telling some stories through video, just like we're doing here as well too. Facebook's loving these 1-minute Reels, but 2-minute videos work really well because you have 2-minute videos that can be shown on Instagram. Anything longer than that just gets shown over on Facebook. But if you want to get back into the game, it's posting regular content. What I like to do, post regular content and then start running content for that $1 a day in that middle funnel. And as new people start to trip upon your content, they're going to see all this $1 a day content that you have in the middle of funnel for multiple exposures. And that can really start to pick things up. So if I were in your shoes, start producing some 1-minute content I can put into Reels, start posting that content on a regular basis, start setting up that Hot 28, running that $1 a day, see what type of content is resonating the best with your audience. And those could be some really great lead ads and some sales ads as well too, which is a great question. Kurt, I'm loving the training and the value. Thank you. Going through it for the second time. Thank you very much. Do you have any tips for weight loss or health supplements? Yes, obviously you can't show before and after pictures. You can't make any weight loss claims. But what you can do is you can talk about what happened to Betty. Betty decided to take this type of supplement. Betty got the best sleep of her life over the last 3 months because the magnesium she was taking was absolutely phenomenal through this company. Betty telling Betty's story, user generated content all day long. And it's all about, like, a lot of people want to lose weight, right? Over the years, I've gained a couple more pounds. There was one point in my life where I weighed almost 300 pounds and I lost over 100 pounds. Yeah, I want to lose 100 pounds. Don't get me wrong, because it's healthier. But the feelings of losing 100 pounds, the way that people treated me, the way that I felt, the way I was able to run, focus on feelings that people want to feel. They want to feel confident when they go to the beach, not necessarily just lose 10 pounds next week. They want to feel youthful when they go to their high school class reunion. They want to be able to, like, I'm 44 years of age. I want to feel that I have energy to keep up with my little baby girl as she gets older. I want to make sure that I'm able to run around and to play with her. So focus on those emotions, what people are going to be able to accomplish as they're losing weight. So many people are just like, lose weight tomorrow, learn how to lose 5 pounds. Focus on the emotion. And if you can focus on the emotional part of it while you're telling the story about a person, well, then it makes things just a lot easier. If you're saying, hey, just click this to lose weight, it's going to be a hard process, hard road to go by. But if you want to talk about how Betty started feeling a lot better, waking up in the morning with better sleep, and now she feels that she has more time and energy to play with her kids, and she's also taking up jogging on the side ever since she was able to start taking the supplement, like, those can be some really great stories that you can tell as well too. All right. Do we use the same material for the awareness campaign top of funnel that we would bottom of funnel? Yeah. What's really interesting is when you're going to use the ad material, I use the same type of content, top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. So top of funnel, I'm going to use content that's basically just aligning the belief system. Hey, do you believe in this? Are we on the same page together? I'll use the same content, a little bit different copy, middle of funnel that says, hey, we agree on this. Do you want to become a lead? Do you want to become a sale? And when they click on that ad, bottom of funnel, I'll use the same content, but now it talks specifically about that offer if they're ready to buy and they're going bottom of funnel. So there are a lot of testimonial videos that people will see top of funnel where people are just talking about me. They watch the entire testimonial video. Then middle of funnel, it starts talking about the belt method and Fight Club and lots of other testimonials. And then someone clicks on that video to, let's say, go over to the sales page. Once they go to the sales page, now they're going to be retargeted with testimonials that talk specifically about that offer. And no one's going to say, hey, I saw that same testimonial in the cold market. They're just going to see it repositioned just a little bit different way. So I use my copy to pre-qualify people. Many times I'm going to use the same content, top, middle, bottom of funnel. It's just the way that I purpose. Great question. In the last 3-4 years, spent
Kurt.
thousands of dollars in trainings and ads. Yes.
I've got another live
Oh, this is
question.
good. Nick has a question. Great question, Nick. Dollar day strategy. Are those boosted organic posts or those videos would run an engagement? Great question. So there's 2 ways I like to do this. One, if I have user generated content that I just want my middle of funnel to see, I might go ahead and start a campaign that says middle dash video views, just user generated content. I'm going to go ahead and the next ad set is going to be $1 a day with just that one user generated content video. So $1 a day, because I want to make sure that people are seeing this user generated content. Now, inside of the belt method, one of the strategies is post to your page on a regular basis. So post to your Facebook page on a regular basis. So let's just say, for example, you're going to post to your Facebook page and Instagram, let's just say once a day, right? Well, what we like to do is once a week, we like to look in the page insights and we like to see what post got the biggest reach. So reach is basically going to show you, reach is going to show you what Facebook believes is relevant. So let's just say that I make 10 posts for the entire week, 10. This post right here may be seen by 300 people. This post may be reached. It's going to say post reach. You'll see in your insights. This post reach could be 500. This post reach could be 700. This post reach could be 300. This one could be 200. This post reach could be 1,800. Lots of people say, Kurt, why is this post better than all the others? I don't really know. Sometimes just that's the way the algorithm works. But the 2 posts with the highest organic reach for the week will be turned into $1 a day ads. Because essentially what's going to happen is if Facebook says, hey, these early signals show us that this is relevant content, okay, great. I want to enhance that relevant content. So in my middle of funnel, I'm going to go ahead once a week. I'm going to find the 2 posts that have the highest reach, and each post is going to run for $1 a day. So this is what happens now is now I have a bunch of organic posts that have been really relevant that I may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 different pieces of content running at $1 a day. Now, I got to tell you, we talked about this inside of the belt method. We call this the golden ad. Many times what's going to happen is we're going to find a post that just has really good reach for whatever reason. We're going to put $1 a day behind it so people in our middle of funnel are constantly seeing this good content. And then after 5 to 7 days, we look back and we see, wow, people are really engaging with this post overall. Like they really like this content. A lot of times that's where we come up with ideas for ads, for lead ads or sales ads. So if I'm writing a post talking about, let's just say I'm talking about, I don't know, how to get a lower CPM cost, right? I make a post on Facebook about it, seems to get a high reach. Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that for $1 a day for 5 to 7 days, and I start to see more and more people are clicking on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I'm going to recreate that post. It's going to be a dark post, of course, but I'm going to recreate that post and now make it as a lead ad or a sales ad just to see maybe if that content makes a really good lead ad. I can't tell you how many times we have taken good organic content from a client, even ourselves, put $1 a day behind it. It's done really well. And then slightly changed just a little bit of the copy, tested out as a lead conversion ad, becomes some of our best lead ads. We just had no idea that people wanted to talk about how to decrease their CPM, and that could be a great lead ad. So I like to pre-qualify people with some content. I like to use the $1 a day middle of funnel for that content to do that. And many times we find some of our best ads to test by finding some of that great content for that $1 a day. So essentially, we use organic posting as a testing battleground and get the winners into ad campaigns. Yep. What a lot of people are doing is they're always testing brand new different ad concepts and they're blowing through money. But with this $1 a day strategy of enhancing some of the organic content, it doesn't cost much money to run some of these tests. And then to run the 3-day test, like I mentioned before, it's not going to cost that much money to test some of your ideas, where a lot of other people are testing top of funnel ads, different types of funnels, and they're just blowing through cash versus the structure that I just gave you before. So I hope that helps. Really great question. Really great question. Let's see. Another question that I had over here is, in the last 3 or 4 years, spent thousands of dollars training ads, made website funnels, chatbots, videos, lives, responders. I understand 0 sales. And all this time out of work, got to turn this thing around. Totally understand. That's why I highly recommend Fight Club. And I'm not just saying that just because I am in Fight Club. Sometimes you just require someone to hold your hand just a little bit and say, hey, look, I think you're doing all the right things, except your clicks and your conversion, your site needs to be updated. We got to get somebody for some copy. You really got to improve the copy. Or sometimes it's just, hey, you just have to tweak your audience just a little bit or change the hook just a little bit. So I've heard the stories before. I've been there before in the past where it seems like you've tried everything and you've done everything for weeks or months and it's still not working. Quite honestly, that's a lot of times when I pick up the phone to call some of my friends that have just reminded me of a couple of things or shown me a couple of new things that just make a huge difference. So I'm sorry to hear that you've gone through this. I completely understand. Sometimes it's just a small little tweak. Other times, just to be very open with you, we've worked with people who said, hey, Kurt, I've been working on like the supplement for the last year and it's not working. Well, we worked with somebody for over a year on a supplement that was very specific on how to deliver nutrients to the body. Only to find out that once we did some market research, the market didn't want that type of solution. The market wanted something different. We had to completely reword the entire offer. So many times if stuff doesn't convert after a while, after trying all the clicks and all the tricks and all the funnels, many times it's doing the research on the offer to figure out what is the exact offer that people want. What does the American public want to buy, or wherever you're at? What do people actually want to buy from you as well too? So you can see right here where you can join us inside of Fight Club, where I'd love to be able to help you with that as well too. Okay, so I got a couple more. Big Jason, how much longer do we want to go? I got maybe 5 more questions in here, 6 more questions. Happy to answer all of them. What works best for you? I want to make sure I'm sensitive to your time schedule, everyone else's time schedule.
Nope, I'm good as long as you want. So
you're amazing. You're amazing. Okay. Should I advertise to narrow audiences or wide audiences right now? I like to advertise content to narrow audiences, so Facebook will find the right person at the right time. Once I establish my offer and I am getting conversions, I'm going to test to smaller audiences. I'm going to test to make sure I'm getting conversions to a smaller audience. Once I start to see regular conversions coming in, I'm going to open that targeting up as wide as I possibly can. It might not be just nationwide targeting, but it may be a lot wider targeting, like I mentioned, with doing a lot of different lookalike audiences. So the bigger the audience, the better Facebook's algorithm is going to do and to drive you better results. It used to be many years ago, if you could just find this tiny little niche, Facebook would, do really well for you. It doesn't work that way anymore. There's too many restrictions in the algorithm. The algorithm needs a much broader audience to give you better results. So start out small with your content, pre-qualify people. Once you find out what's working, start to go to broader audiences for your leads and sales. Really great question. Best way to prevent hacking? Yes, get double two-factor authorization in your business manager. Make sure it's set up on your phone for your Facebook account. Hackers still can get through. Just be cautious, but make sure you and everyone on your team has two-factor authorization set up. And anybody who's no longer working with your team, or if you work with clients, the day you stop working with clients, remove them from your business manager. I cannot tell you how many times we have worked with people in the past who, yeah, I worked with this client a year ago, and then the client went on, they hired someone else, the other person didn't have two-factor authorization set up, they went through the old client account, got into the new. Make sure that people who are on your ads manager are supposed to be there. Remove anybody who used to be with you but is no longer with you. Remove any other old clients you have. Set up two-factor authorization, and that should help you. But again, it's not 100% guarantee as well either. I want to target U.S. women college educated who want to get physically strong, mentally sharper, so they can live and full out their 90s and beyond. Any Facebook ads My best option, absolutely, you can pre-qualify people. There are a lot of females out there that want to do exactly that. Again, I would see in my mind's eye a video or pre-qualifying content that's talking about exactly this. Hey, if you'd like to understand how to live longer, if you'd like to feel youth and vitality all the way to the age of 90, we have a 5-step document. Join us on this webinar. There is this is still a great audience for you here. So absolutely, U.S. women college educated want to physically get stronger. Absolutely, huge market for you there. Huge. Is getting your own server and connecting to the First Pick API game changer doesn't make a huge difference for the ad cost. So here's what basically happens. If you remember, Zuckerberg goes in front of Congress, and Congress has no idea how this whole Facebook thing works. And then these movies like Social Dilemma comes out, and everyone's kind of freaking out. And they're saying, oh my goodness, Facebook has all of our data. Facebook has all of our data. Well, what Facebook basically did, which is smart, Facebook and Google, Facebook's like, oh my goodness, we have everyone's data. Google's like, we have everyone's data. And then, well, that means that they can be highly regulated now. And there's lots of other issues that come in. And what they decided to do is, well, let's just turn this over to the individual. So now you control the data. You decide what data you send back to Google or Facebook with the conversion API. So what's going to happen is two different things. One, the internet is growing up. A lot of the old tracking systems like tracking cookies are going away, and we're not going to have that same tracking ability. Also, Facebook doesn't want to own all the data. They want to make sure that you own the data and pass the information you want back to Facebook. So pretty soon, tracking cookies are going to go away online. So absolutely, you do have to plug into the conversion API of Facebook. Again, we like to use Pixel or Site. That seems to really help a lot. We highly encourage people to do it. Yes, it will make a big difference. Does that mean overnight you're going to get more sales? No. That means you're going to be able to control more data. You're going to see you're going to be able to control what you send over to Facebook. You're going to have more control of the data. And over time, typically we have seen that it helps dial in the traffic just more than just the Facebook pixel itself. And again, the internet's growing up, and they're going to do away with tracking cookies. So all of us as marketers are going to have to manage that data on our side. So absolutely set up that conversion API. Absolutely. Great question. Is it worthwhile to still try to grow organically on Facebook, offer funnel traffic? Yes. Is it still worthwhile to grow organic on Facebook rather than growing a page? Would it be better to try and grow a Facebook group? It all comes down to content. So what's going to happen is if you are posting on a regular basis on your business page and people are starting to engage and you're engaging with those people and you're posting more and more content, absolutely organic can work, but it is a much longer route, right? It's totally fine, but it's a lot of content that you're posting. Now, does a Facebook group work? Absolutely, as long as there's engagement. There's a lot of people and a lot of friends that I've had that put people inside of Facebook groups to really drive up Facebook engagement. For a week or two, there's a lot of great conversations that are going on, and then people just kind of get bored and kind of turn their back, and then they just kind of leave, and then they don't engage for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then what ends up happening is their group slowly starts to die on the vine because, well, what Facebook did is Facebook wanted to create groups to take a conversation off of a Facebook page, which isn't really formal, and put it inside of like a community section where we can all communicate with each other. Well, if you're doing regular lives, Facebook Lives, if you're doing regular content, if you're asking questions within the group, that's a great way to keep people engaged. Great way. Again, it's all about engagement. So it's no longer one of these things where you can make 4 posts a month and all of a sudden all the sales are going to come in. If you were looking for organic traffic, you were going to post as much as possible. I have a client that we worked with before in the dating niche that wasn't able to run very many ads. And they used to post once a day, every single day, and they would get some good organic content. What they decided to do is they decided to start posting 4 times a day. Once they started posting 4 times a day, the algorithm really started to kick in. And now more and more people collectively were seeing their posts overall, and they can engage with more and more people, which really helped the organic just really take off. But if they're only posting once a day, they weren't getting that traction. So if you are looking for organic, post multiple times a day. Okay. And Facebook groups is good as well too. You may be posting multiple times in there a day. Just remember, not everyone's seeing your content. We would love it if people do, but only a small percentage of people do. That's why you have to post more content on a regular basis, so you're keeping in front of people.
Kurt.
Targeting. Yes, sir.
Kurt. Oh, just
Yes.
thought this might be valuable. I did a promotion for a client, and we started a Facebook group as part of the promotion. And at the end of the day, it was 50% email, 50% from the Facebook group.
Yep.
And that doesn't
Yep.
mean
I
that
love to.
that doesn't mean people in the Facebook group didn't see the emails, and it doesn't mean the people with the emails weren't in the group.
One of the things I love to do is I love to drive people to an opt-in that takes them to our free, that literally says, hey, click right here and join our free group. They have to opt in first, because I see the same stats that Big Jason had just talked about. Is people are like, well, are we getting all of our sales from the group? Well, if you're doing regular content and you're posting on a regular basis, there's only a small percent, or there's only a percentage of people that are going to see those posts. If I'm emailing and posting, many times we see 50-50 split. It's not like we see 80% of the sales come through email and then the rest come through the group or whatsoever. Thing is I always want to get someone's email address. I can't tell you how many people are probably even watching this video right now who have been on our list for years, haven't purchased from us. I answer one question here. 3 years later, they're buying. So I want to get people into both. Unequivocally, I want to get people on my own email list. For the big reason is because that's a list that I can control. And Facebook's still a Facebook platform. You just never know when, like someone mentioned earlier in this call, you change a header image on one of your pages and the page disappears. I just always want to hedge my bet. So before I put anybody in a group, make sure that they opt in first to grab their email. Then I put them into the group, and then I'm going to use both to follow up. A great question. Targeting. I can't find people who are successful in business, play saxophone, and want to improve their improvisation. I also wish there was a way when I could target specific saxophone related pages, saxophone musicians that are huge in the world, but unfortunately not huge on Facebook. This may be interesting in just recording just that specific content. And by the way, if you're a sax player and you would like to learn how to do X, Y, and Z, and that's the pre-qualification of your copy and your voice, you may be surprised some open wide targeting may actually work for you. It's pre-qualifying people, right? And it may take a couple of days for Facebook to kind of find that right niche for you. But if I were in your niche, what I would do is it would be, hey, are you successful in business? And you this is a really interesting narrow niche, right? Hey, are you successful in business and do you love playing the saxophone as much as I do? I have something that's really important for you. Or by the way, are you a business owner who also loves to play the saxophone? That may be a way to pre-qualify people. Fortunately, Facebook's taking away a lot of your targeting overall. But this is something you'd pursue. It's actually going with wider opening targeting, or like doing some lookalike audiences for some wider targeting and pre-qualifying through content. That's a really, really great question. When selling something high ticket, when would you use video view objective versus conversions? I've never found video views to convert into sales. Right. Video views traffic doesn't typically convert to sales, meaning when somebody's watching a video, and a video view, they want to watch videos. They don't want to necessarily buy. But we are starting to build rapport. So I'm going to use a lot of video views top of funnel to start aligning our belief system. I'm going to use video views middle of funnel, and I'm going to have people see a lot of testimonials over and over and over. But I'm going to run conversion ads for Fight Club right to the sales page. Hey, make sure you sign up for Fight Club by Tuesday at midnight, or book a call with us directly. So video views directly lead to book a call? No. A lot of people, when they first heard of my strategy of the belt method, they're like, well, Kurt ran this one video. I retargeted all 75% viewers to become a lead, and they all didn't become leads right away. Well, it's because you retargeted just that one video view. Sometimes video viewers want to see multiple different videos. So I'm going to use our videos to establish rapport and to push my ethical propaganda. I'm going to use conversion campaigns to get people to sign up for that webinar or book that call. So many times, again, if I'm only targeting 75%, if I'm only seeing 75%, watch time, and I'm just retargeting that doesn't always turn into leads and sales. But if I am creating a bunch of ethical propaganda, I'm doing that through video views, and middle of funnel, I'm using my conversion to bring in those sales, book those calls, sell those higher end tickets. So good question. Okay, when retargeting small businesses of prospects, say webinar registrants, what's the best objective to use to drive sales against a deadline? Awareness, reach, traffic, conversion. Okay, Facebook needs a bigger audience for conversions to actually work. on your webinars. For example, if your webinar and you got 100 people to register for your webinar that you want to retarget, you're probably just going to run reach ads to make sure. I don't know why I'm holding my pinky on this. You're probably going to want to run reach ads only, because you can target people who are in that only that 100 people. Reach ads, people are going to see your ads over and over and over and over, right? Reach or impressions. Now, if you're able to get 300, 400, or 500 people to opt in, I'm still going to run reach and impression ads. So people are seeing this over and over. Hey, time to buy, time to buy. But I'm also, for like $5 or $10 a day, I'm going to be running sales conversion ads directly back to my sales page. So typically Facebook's going to work really well with an audience once you start to get over 1,000 people. There's not a lot of people probably listening to this that are driving thousands of people to their webinar who can set up retargeting for thousands of people. So what I like to do is when people opt in, let's just say there's 300 people who opt into the webinar, when it's time to close, I'm going to be running reach and impression ads to those 300 people. And for $5 or $10 a day, I'm also going to be running the sales objective ads as well too. I just want to make sure people are seeing the deadline over and over. I'm going to be sending emails out over and over and over. And then those conversion ads will help drive those people who are just those 300 people in that little small audience into the sales as well too. If I'm only running conversion ads bottom of funnel for those 300 people in the webinar, Facebook might not reach all 300. Facebook may only reach 50 people who Facebook thinks is ready to convert. With reach ads, Facebook's going to reach everyone that's on that list. So I like to run reach, and I like to run conversion ads bottom of funnel to close that out. How can I get my personal ad account reactivated? Our Facebook ads running using the account, plus there's admin of with 26 followers. How do I get my account back? I'd have to kind of know the specifics on it. I'd have to know. This is kind of something we kind of have to work at. There's two caveats I have here. One, we have a book inside of the Fast Track that gives a whole bunch of different links that you can go ahead and click on links to go to different forums where sometimes Facebook will be able to help. Second thing is, I was actually personally sued by Facebook. Actually, we were sent a cease and desist. And back in 2015, many people story here, we worked with somebody directly over at Facebook. Facebook did not like that relationship. I have a signed agreement with Facebook that I will not violate any of the terms of use. Otherwise, I am susceptible to a $40,000 fine within 7 days anytime I violate terms of use. Now, I've never gotten a fine, but I do have that signed document on record. And Facebook told me, hey, Kurt, when we shut down accounts, we shut them down for a reason. When you help people get them back, you could be violating the terms of use. So I can't tell you something that would violate the terms of use, but I can point you in the direction depending on what's going on. Basically, what I'll tell you is this. We do have some documentation that we basically send people to all these different links, and you just realize Facebook doesn't care about your customer service at all. They really care less. Depending on the customer service rep that you talk to or that you email with or that sees your request, they may or may not choose to handle it. What we end up doing and suggesting is we actually take, if we have a problem where we have an account that we just can't access or a profile we can't access, we actually go to like 10 to 15 different places and resubmit the same request to just different people to hopefully find that one person that will flip the switch and actually care versus it just falling into a black hole. So if you have reached out to customer service and you're waiting for them to reply, you can either use our documentation or you can look online. I keep on resubmitting that same documentation or find other places where I can submit that documentation over and over and over until I'm getting the result that I'm looking for. And I wish I had a better answer for you, but that's it. All right. Is Facebook still a place for paid advertising? I think so. It kind of depends on what your niche is. And again, kind of top of funnel, middle of funnel acquisition strategy. I think it's great for middle of funnel. And depending on your overall costs and goals, I think for top of funnel, I think it can work well for a lot of people as well too. It's just now, so many people a year and a half ago to 2 years ago, literally you just turn on some interesting interest targeting, throw up an ad and start making some sales. And that's because the algorithm was really dialed in. It doesn't mean they're a really good marketer. Now people have to be a really good marketer and understand how marketing works. And that's one of the things that we love about Fight Club because, we're going to talk about all things marketing, right? We're going to talk about Facebook. We're going to talk about YouTube. We're going to talk about TikTok. We're going to talk about everything else because depending on your business, maybe Facebook might not be the best for you. Maybe it could be YouTube. Maybe it could be an email acquisition strategy. So you may want to consider jumping inside a Fight Club because Facebook might not be the best avenue for you. Maybe it's another ad channel. Again, all depending on your niche and what your individual goals are. So really great question. Wow, I've been up to watch this one, but I have an appointment. Sorry. Are you able to review my ad? Let's see. I can review my ad, and this is exactly what we do over in Fight Club as well. Now, you're not going to see this from your side of things, but let me see if I can open this up. Hopefully, this doesn't take me to a dirty picture site that I would show live. Let's take a look at this. All right. I believe getting clicks for 36 cents. All right. Let's see if this pulls up. All right, Big Jason, I'm going to share my screen here. Let's
Just
take a look at what we
FYI
got
for
here.
the next lives that we're going to be doing, we can allow people to jump on live and ask questions too if you want.
This fancy technology stuff is great. Thank you. Okay, click here to discover the weight loss goals fail. Click to discover why weight loss goals fail. We reveal the reason why most people give up, what causes them to fail. To eliminate the yo-yo diet fad, become the empowered. Please share the free report. I need to know kind of more about click-through rate. I understand what you were talking about with, I just don't necessarily know how this pre-qualifies people overall. I think that's kind of the big problem. Click here to discover. Well, of course they're going to click already because that's how people click on the ads. Or discover why weight loss goals fail. I would probably do something, discover why so many people fail at weight loss. And then the reason more people give up, it's just some broad statements. I'd want to pre-qualify my avatar just a little bit more. And I'd really want to talk about that feeling. So for example, why do so many people lose at their weight loss goals? Discover why so many people are within just mere days or calories from starting to unlock that unwanted weight that they no longer need. Find out why most people give up right before they start to see results. Find a plan that works the best for you. I'd be more specific around the, two things. I'd be more specific around the content itself to pre-qualify people, a lot more around the emotional things like having the energy, keeping up with your kids, feeling better, looking better, stuff like that. Please share this free report with anyone that you think it might help. You're maybe going to get 1 in 50 people that would share it for that reason. So I just completely remove that. It doesn't, in my opinion, it's not going to help at all. Click here or go to the button down below. Maybe if you're lucky, 5% of people will click the link in the post. So you don't have to have the link in the post. It's completely up to you. I just see this as being more kind of general and not really talking about the pain and why someone would want to change. This talks about why some people fail, but not the pain as if they don't make a change right now. That's just my feedback that I would have on your ad. Hope that makes sense. That is good. Let's see here. I got one more question. Is the belt method still working as it is in the cars I bought a year ago? Yes. The belt method is how you do good marketing. Yes, it still works. Absolutely. I talk to people all the time. They're like, Kurt, after iOS hit, man, everything changed. Does your stuff still work? It worked before iOS and it worked after iOS because it's good marketing principles. It's hitting people repeatedly amount of times over and over. We're aligning the belief system. People are seeing our content over and over. It absolutely still works the same. Now, are there a couple of buttons inside of Facebook that have moved from over here and they're renamed something different over here? Yes. Do all the principles inside the belt method work? Absolutely. Does the $1 a day video still work? Yes. Does the CPA goals of for 3 days, spend 3 times your amount CPA, does that still work? Yes. Does retargeting the Hot 28 still work? Absolutely. The strategy itself, and this is what we've really been focusing on our trainings, we focus on the strategy. So if the buttons change a little bit, everything else still absolutely works. So yes, inside of Fight Club, you will see that the belt method, if you already have access to the fast track or if you already have access to our belt premium, absolutely it still works. We use it every single day. Just, yeah, absolutely. And you'll see here, I mean, really, again, we have the belt premium is how to establish ethical propaganda. How do you really align your belief systems with your market? And once you understand how to think in this ethical propaganda, you can do this for any type of ad platform. But we're going to take you step by step through the entire process of how to create this ethical propaganda, how you can do it for your business, how you start to align people over on Facebook. Now, if you want a step by step on how to get started, that's exactly what we have for the Fast Track. Fast Track is going to teach you or your employees exactly what buttons to hit, exactly what to set up, and exactly what to do. Well, on the other side of it, maybe you just want to outsource this. Send them the Fast Track. Send your outsourcer the Fast Track so they know exactly how to set up your ads, how to set up the golden ad report, and it's going to show you exactly what's working or what's not working right now. I mean, literally everything is in here we have thought about for you on exactly how to get you up and running on the belt method to make it effective. Now, what happens if you're running the belt method, but the CPM costs are just way too high? Is Facebook still good for you? There's a quick start on YouTube ads on how to get started on YouTube as well. And again, this is taught by Tom Breeze. Tom did an amazing job of really diving deep inside and really showing you the psychology of how to think about your creatives and your ads. And that's going to make the biggest difference in your YouTube ads. So hands down, this YouTube ads can get you started right away as well too. Okay, now what happens with the YouTubes if that's working out okay or Facebook's working out okay? Well, you also have email marketing as well too. Always collect leads. Never stop collecting leads. There's a lot of people I know, they're like, Kurt, I just run ads just directly to sell my product and that's it. And they miss out on the opportunity for email. Now, I'm telling you, focus on collecting leads. You're always going to have leads. Email has been around for a long time, and you're going to see some really great insights there. The one last thing here too, what happens if you're running your ads and you're not quite sure? Is it your funnel? Is it the ads? Is it the platform? What do you need to fix next? That's what the Advertiser Fix Finder is. All you got to do is just type in your numbers right into the right Advertiser Fix Finder funnel that you are using, and it's instantly going to tell you, do you need to work on your ads? Do you need to get your CPM lower? Maybe that's looking at a different advertising channel, or is it something with your funnel as well too? So if you want to get started in the belt method, you can absolutely do it here. If you want to know the deep psychology of the belt method, you could do it here. Want to get started on YouTube? You can do it inside of Fight Club. Want to learn more about email? Want to find out what about your funnel is not working? Or if you just want some of my personal answers that we talk about here, where I look over your shoulder to find out exactly what's going on, that is all inside of Fight Club, where we are going to be meeting with you live 4 times a week to fight things out. Big Jason, I think I might use that as one of our key phrases. Hey, join us to fight things out inside of the Fight Club so we can find out exactly what's going on with your ads to help you as well too. And I believe, sir, that is the last question that I have over on my big screen. It looks like the sun is going down here where I am here in Austin, Texas. I think I hear little baby girl crying here in the background to get fed here in just a little bit. She's been hanging out with grandma. But Jason, awesome. I've answered all the questions here. Is there any other questions on the live side that maybe I can't see from here?
Let's see if anybody has any last questions. I just posted the link to the comment section as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Again, it's really great to see everybody here. We'd love to see you inside a Fight Club. Now, I do have to say, we have some other experts that are coming up, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to be talking about Big Jason here in just a little bit as well, too, for some of his expertise in email. He's helped us a ton, but you're going to see the proof on the pudding on the other side. If you're interested in email marketing, and especially copywriting, persuasive email copywriting, please keep on sticking around. We have some surprises for you as well. Here's our main goal with Fight Club. Facebook is not the only answer for people. YouTube's not the only answer for people. Sometimes people just need some additional trainings in like figuring out, how do you monetize email? How do you monetize TikTok? How would you monetize just trying to get on maybe just some Google keyword search as well too? We want to figure out what works right for you. But we realize that it's just not a one size fits all. So join us inside of Fight Club. You already have the individual trainings that's going to help you get up and rock and roll, but you're also going to have every single week, you're going to have 4 different times where you're going to be able to meet with us live to answer any of your questions about these specific platforms and some alternatives for you to be running your advertising. Again, it's always better when you're with a group of people who know what they're doing versus trying to figure it out on your own. It can be lonely and expensive. So I would love to see you inside of Fight Club. Jason, that is all I have on my side. Unless you can see anything there, you can see the link right up here, the belt.live/FYTECLUBFB. Fight Club, there we go.
Yep.
That, Fight stands for basically Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and everything else. So join us inside of the club. See the special discount that is going to be open only until this Tuesday at midnight.
And Jason, thank you very much. Will you get emails about the offer from existing members? Yes, we will send you an email and make you a bribe on even a lower price than what you see the general public right here. And we will do that actually, I believe tomorrow. Jason and Nick were working on the sales page for tonight. So absolutely help you with that tomorrow. Love to see you on the other side, Nick. Again, thank you so much. Thank you, Big Jason, for being here and help put this whole thing together. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate you, sir. I gotta go find out what little baby girl is doing, get her
You
fed,
bet.
take care of her. And I just want to say thank you very much for being here. And thank you, Big Jason, for all your help, sir. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, everyone. Feel free to love and share this video.